Hello, and thank you for giving us another opportunity to spend some time with you on Stairway to Health, brought to you by Health Experts Canada. We've got some great ideas, new information, and hopefully a few laughs for you today. Who knows? If you're not careful, you may learn something.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Stairway to Health podcast. I'm your host, Frank Peary, along with
Marilyn Mitchell.
And Marilyn, I want to talk today about healthy aging, aging well, aging healthy. I think I'm a good example of this.
I was going to say, we're going to do the entire time all about you, aren't we?
No, not at all, not at all. But I do feel so much younger today than I was. Like I've said to people that if I knew 30 years ago what I know now, boy, oh boy. I mean, I honestly do feel 20, 30 years younger. So what do they say? 50 is the new what? 30?
I don't know. I thought they always said that aging was just a state of mind.
Well, that's even better. I like that.
And I truly believe that because I know, personally, I know people who are, let's say, in their 50s or in their 50s. And they hang around with people that are in their 50s or 60s or 70s, and their attitude on life is totally different than someone who's in their 50s, who have all their colleagues at work or something that are 35, 40, 45. The difference between those two people, their aging is not the same.
For sure.
It has so much to do with your environment, so much to do with your mindset.
Again, absolutely.
Because if you say to somebody, well, do you need a certain supplement, or is that what? Well, I think I should take it because after all, I'm 65 and my eyesight's going. Is it really? Well, it will be any time now. Like the expectations of aging,
to your point, that's an excellent point. Are you ill because you think you should be for your age?
Yes.
Or are you healthy because you don't believe that there should be anything stopping you?
Well, I don't understand why people believe that there's a certain age where they have to stop doing something, or they can't start doing something until a certain age. We have a customer. We have a man that was, he would stop in on his way home from the gym to buy more protein powder because he goes and works out and plays tennis every second day or something. He's like, what, 78, 80 years old?
Yep.
Now, is there any rule that says that a 78-year-old man can't play tennis every 2 days?
Not at all. Perfect example. My grandfather, he, God bless him, passed away at 98. But that man played tennis almost every single day until he was 90 years old.
Mm-hmm. And he rode a bicycle.
I
mean, instead of walking somewhere, he'd get on his bike. So that is very possible. We know it can be. But then you get some people who come in, and we see them, we talk to them, and they're talking like, wow, they should be retiring any day. And we find out they're 43.
I know.
Yes. But the way they talk, oh, well, at my age, I shouldn't push it but what does that mean at my age? What? I don't understand.
Since when did age become an excuse for poor health? Healthy aging may start with the right mindset. But I'll give you some really awesome sort of snippets here. I do try and reverse aging as much as possible.
Oh, I know.
Right? I mean, I'm literally attempting to be the real life Benjamin Buttons here. I want to go backwards. So I study and I experiment on myself. I guess they call it biohacking, the kids these days.
Yes.
But the whole idea of biohacking one's health, it starts at a cellular level because we are, after all, a body of cells. How healthy our cells are will determine how young we feel, how young we look, how healthy we are. So the healthier and the more youthful and the more regenerative our cellular structure within the body, the better for our healthy aging. So I did a test. We have this equipment that we use on certain clients that measures aortic pulse wave velocity.
And that means?
Well, it has to do with blood flow, the elasticity and the flexibility of your arteries and the oxygen levels in the blood. And it measures all kinds of things around cardiac health. And it is a measurement for cardiac health. But one of the fascinating things about measuring this is that it can determine what your internal age is versus your biological age. And I ran this experiment over the course of about 35 days from start to finish. And in the course of that month and a bit, I had taken my test at the beginning, and I think it showed my internal age as, somewhere in the late 30s, which is still pretty damn good, because considering my age, that was almost, like 10 years younger than what I am. After 35 days of utilizing certain supplementation that targets cellular health within the body, regenerative cellular health, focusing on ATP and energy cycles and so forth, I was able to turn it around and get a result that showed me my internal age was 28, shaving 10 years off of my internal age in the matter of just over 30 days. So supplementation can play a huge role, preventative supplementation, not waiting until something goes wrong, but preventing anything from going wrong in the first place.
I agree 100%. And not only is that one way, but if you the old adage, if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
The whole thing about exercise, going for a walk, and I don't mean, spending 8 hours in a gym, but to get up and after dinner, go for a walk, or go every morning, walk to work instead of driving. Or if you go to the mall and go shopping, park a long ways away and walk around the mall.
Get your steps in.
Well, that's it. I mean, things like that. I just cringe when I hear people say, oh, I'd like to do that, but I'm too old.
It's amazing how people will maintain a car, but won't maintain their bodies. The number one vessel they have to get from point A to point B.
But it's the attitude that they can be less than their perfect health because of their age. And there's no age that stops you from getting up and going for a walk, or moving, or eating healthy, or doing some fresh air things, or going on a trip and enjoying the outdoors, the fresh air. Nothing about your age should stop you. And for people to sit around and every morning get up and say, oh, is this the day I need glasses? Or, oh, is this the day I have arthritis in my knees? I mean, I just think that
age should not be an excuse.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You're only as old as you feel. I think that's how it goes. Or you're only as old as anyway. I don't want to get into it. But the point is, it starts with mindset. It literally then follows up with your actions in terms of what you're eating, what supplements are you taking, what kind of movement you're putting your body through on a daily basis, regular basis. How social are you being?
That's right.
Right? How communicative are you being? I mean, it's one thing to feel bad for yourself if you are lonely because, God forbid, if you're without family, or if but nothing is stopping you from being able to put yourself in a socializing situation, right? Going out and meeting people. Or if you're sitting by yourself in the park and somebody comes up to you and says, how are you today? It's a lovely day. How's the weather treating you? Start a conversation. Be social.
My favorite are the people that go to the malls and sit on the benches. And there's one person, and then there's another person. And then by the time you come out of your third store, you look, and now there's 2 or 3 people sitting on the bench, and they're all just chatting and watching the world go by. I think that's wonderful if that's what's keeping them young, if that's what's keeping them going. And like we've talked about before, the last couple of years have isolated a lot of people. They didn't have the ability to get out. And I don't know about your circle of friends, but I have noticed a lot of people have aged.
Oh,
a lot
terribly
in the last 2 years because they've just succumbed to, well, I guess this is what to expect of life.
Yeah, people who are content to not socialize anymore, using, I guess, things as an excuse why not to, or they've gotten comfortable in a sense with not having to participate in certain things.
Just like they've got comfortable with their sweatpants.
Well, yeah, truly. I mean, look, they used to say, if you get up every day and dress yourself in a way that makes you feel good about yourself, whereas most people are getting up nowadays and just throwing on the sweats they had on the night before they sit at their computer and maybe zoom into a meeting. It's like you still take some pride, I guess, right? In your appearance, in your ability, in your life and who you are, what you're doing. You know, there's a lot of people that count on every one of us for whatever it is: motivation, uplifting support, communication, just a friendly hello. And I think when we talk about aging being just a number, it's true. It is absolutely true. It's nothing. It means nothing more on a piece of paper than a number. It really is all about how you feel, what you're doing to make yourself feel that way, right? If you're doing things to make yourself feel old, stop doing those things, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing things preventatively to keep yourself young, vibrant, healthy, keep doing those things. So there's a lot we can learn from these people that we see in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s in some cases, and take a lesson out of a page out of their book. And healthy aging, by focusing on aging well, it can increase overall quality of life. It can reduce our risk of so many chronic illnesses and disease. And it helps us find that self-worth and purpose that I think all of us are striving to achieve.
Absolutely true.
Right? So never before has it been so easy to age well, right? And to give yourself the ability for healthy aging. We have all the tools and resources at our disposal. So it's just a matter of finding them, going out there and getting to them. I know I'm going to continue to feel forever young.
Yes, I'm sure you will. And your theory is, what is it? What do you say? 20 is the new 50?
Or 50 is the new 20. Absolutely. 50 is the new 20. On that note, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Frank Peary.
And I'm Marilyn Mitchell. And until next time, remember, health equals wealth. So that's all the time we have today, but there's still so much more to talk about and learn. Head over to healthexpertscanada.com for more ideas on healthy living, and don't forget to like, download, and share this podcast with your friends, just for the health of it.